I have to press the Twitch button and then I have to say, hello everyone and welcome to today's Meta Monday discussion topic. I almost said it right. Today we are going to talk about the autisms. Wow. My experiences with it. Is this even good for YouTube? Probably not, but just in case. Wow. Okay, Bodhi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You are free for now. Enjoy your last free moments. Ubara, thank you again. And thank you for the explanation on Vampire Masquerade. It was super interesting. Scav art is worth a lifetime of non-scav art. Those are actually very wise words. What a fruit. Actually wise. Okay. That's okay, that's okay. That's fine, that's fine. Don't worry about it. First, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about like health and mental health, I suppose. In honor of Mental Health Awareness Time, day, hour, month, I don't know, week, which was last month, I'm pretty sure. So as always, I am wonderfully late. Classy Izumi. Of course, happy lurking, Ara. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it, and it was nice seeing you and chatting with you. Thank you. 10,026. That's a good time. That's a good time. So as always, I am wonderfully late, about 1 month late. That's okay. They say something about better late than never. Late people are something, question mark. You know better than me. I don't know euphemisms and expressions and stuff. And I already mentioned this in the past. In one of the previous Meta Mondays, I'd mentioned this, but I didn't go in depth about it. So I just kind of mentioned it in passing, and that was that. Today, I would like to dive deep a little bit more, focus a little bit more on the subject. And no. And I suppose before I get into it all deep and stuff, yesterday, the day before, I was a pixel, and I think some of you guys on Discord were talking about medical things, about doctorates, hospital studies, that kind of stuff. The instant ban. See as a hero. Thank you. So pro. Can I do unban requests at some point? I'm really looking forward to those. I almost feel bad for the guy. Or girl. Could be either. Yesterday or the day before, or something along that lines, we were talking about like medical things, hospital things, studying to become a nurse or a doctor, and so on and so forth. We mentioned a whole bunch of difficult words, and then we mentioned like some hard things, and so I mentioned about my heart. Atashi no kokoro wa. And as it turns out, when I was a little AI, every now and again, I would find myself fainting. Just like that, like for no reason. I would just be minding my business, walking, and I just got, oh, well, here I go. Whoo. Not that sudden, not that dramatic. I would feel it coming. I would feel it coming about like a minute in advance, sometimes a bit longer. I would get like all woozy, all dizzy, and I would go pale, maybe like a bit blue along the lips. I would feel as though I was falling, even though I wasn't falling. And my head was spinning like crazy, even though it wasn't. And I would feel my mind slipping away. And I would feel the heavy urge to go lay down. And so after that happened a few times, obviously we went to look into it. Went to the hospital a few times, did a bunch of tests. We did the syringes, the blood pressures. I had to run on a treadmill, I think, while they put all sorts of wires on me. They did electrical tests and so on. I died exactly 69 times in my Sekiro run. Fun facts. Plans? Question mark? I'll never tell. And as it turns out, there is no disease or anything like that. It is fine. It is just that my heart is a little bit small. It's a little bit too small and a little too weak, I guess, for my body. So it has to do overtime to get the blood pumping. It's like a proper big grown-up heart. It goes like, oof, and the blood goes all the places. But my heart has to go to do the same job. So it's gotta do overtime. It gets tired. Sometimes it doesn't get all the way. And that means that sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Sometimes it's not quite able to get enough blood to all the places, which means there is not enough oxygen in all the places. And without oxygens in the brain, you will faint, it turns out. It was especially noticeable after I was like exercising, running, if I was very stressed, especially if I didn't have enough sugar. So, like if I hadn't eaten for a while, or if I hadn't eaten certain foods for a while. It could happen like randomly too, but that's usually the times when it would happen. Whenever I would like work out or be on the bike or something like that. And that results in low blood pressure. So it's not actually that bad. It's really not that bad. If you have a high blood pressure, you got to be careful because there is like risks that maybe you rupture your veins or you get like blood clots and things like that. Too much sugar can be bad. In my case, it's the opposite, and like it's not good, but it's not like bad either. Okay, so all that happens is sometimes I'll feel woozy. What I have to do is stop what I'm doing, go lay down with my legs up in the air, and then my heart will have an easier time of making the blood go to my head, so I will feel better. Also, I bring with me some glucose. Glucose is a special sugar that is very easy for your body to digest. So you take a little pill of glucose, and then it goes. Boop, 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 boop. It's like spinach for Popeye, and it picks me right back up. At least until, at least it's not the Jacko position. It'll it'll put me right back into action. At least until I can get to a place where I can eat, drink, or rest up from whatever activity I was doing. And that's it. That's my heart story, I guess. At the end of the day, it's fine. It's very manageable, and I feel like in the last couple of years, it hasn't happened that often. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like high blood pressure, like that's the bad one. Hope you're okay, Draki. I'm not actually sure if you can. Yeah, I only know what the doctors told me. I don't know about any other conditions. And in fact, I don't even know that much about mine. It's fine. But anyway, that was yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. One of those. So autism. So what's up about that, huh? Mental health awareness. Ain't that cool? First of all, don't self-diagnose. Don't do that. Self-diagnose doesn't help anyone. Doesn't help you. Doesn't help anyone else. Mental health is very complicated. It's like even the pros hardly understand it. So to understand it as like someone who does not have any experience in psychology or anything like that, it's a tall order. Um, there are probably like these like questionnaires online, Yahoo Answers. Yahoo Answers. What do I do if I have autism? Um, it's a trap. Okay, take it from me as a random person on the internet who has no experience in anything. I'm an anime AI. I can say these things. And so, um, I'm actually curious now. I'm actually curious now what Yahoo has to say about autism. Oh, it's not in the pretty. It's not in the pretty like art style, where they're like actually like serious. They seem serious about it. Too bad. But I had a laugh. Oh well, not allowed. Oh, if Wikipedia says it, Weeby. Hold on, let me log onto Wikipedia. Edit page. Hold on. You do bring up a very valid point. I feel like my arms are wonky today. Is it just me? I feel like my arms are wonky every day. It's probably fine. The reason why I say that is some people who self-diagnose, obviously some of them are wrong. Sometimes they are completely wrong, and there is no mental disease at all. There is no mental illness. I shouldn't say disease, it's illness, I think. Words. Sometimes there really is something, but they self-diagnose the wrong thing, and then when they try to take steps to help them, it actually is the opposite of beneficial. What is the opposite of beneficial? I don't know. Unbeneficial. It's like your wrist hurts and you self-diagnose yourself. Detrimental. That's so good. I love that one. Detrimental. I'll use that word from now on. Detrimental. Thank you, Weeby. Wonderful word. You are showing your Englishness. Destructive is good too, but like that's whew. It's like your wrist hurts and you self-diagnose yourself as, oh, my wrist is broken and I have to like snap it back in place. And so you snap it back in place and you end up breaking it because actually it wasn't broken and it was just like a little sore and you had to rest it, you know? So don't make the wrong diagnose and then take the wrong steps. That's not good. Pro tip. Some people use mental health as an excuse to be meanies online or IRL. And sometimes they really have something, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they exaggerate what they have. Sometimes it is just, oh, it's, me ruining your birthday party. It's okay because I have XYZ. No, it's not. No, it's not okay. Like, sucks that you have to struggle with these things that other people don't have to struggle with. And of course, people will try to extend a helping hand if they can. But obviously, you have to try and adapt. You have to try and be considerate, even if you struggle with these kinds of things. Don't just default as, well, nothing can be done. I guess I'll just be a meanie. Luckily, most people are not like that. But some are, and it's weird. Ow, my neck. Mental health is difficult because sometimes you can't see it. Like, with most physical conditions, most, not all, you know, if you have a broken leg, it's very obvious. If you're in a wheelchair, it's obvious. With some mental health, it's the same. Some people with mental health issues, they have to be also in a wheelchair, or you can see it in like the facial structure, maybe their eyes, maybe their mouth. But very often that's not the case. Which makes it very difficult. Imagine going to like a store, a grocery store, and you have to buy milk. But they moved the milk from one aisle to another. You don't know where it is. This wasn't in the plan. What the fruit do you do now? Do you search for it? Where? Where do you even start? What if they don't have it? What do you do afterwards? What if people start asking you questions? It's quite frightening. And then, if people do approach you and you're startled and you start crying, geez, that's awkward. That's really awkward. And then people are like, what is this child, this grown-up child crying in the middle of a grocery store because someone said hi? What? So yeah, that's it's weird. What do you do in such a situation? Gosh, I'm not even sure where I'm going with this. I guess sometimes it's complicated. What's my story? I know, it's very extreme. Really is. This is really hard to talk about, as it turns out. Not because it's emotional or anything. Like, I'm totally fine with that. Oh yeah, I just put a random title. I'm so sorry. The title has nothing to do with the stream. feel free to change it. I don't know. I just every time I basically roll like a random die in my head, and whatever it lands on, that's the title of the stream. And like, very rarely does the title and the stream correlate. Come on, false advertisement strikes again. Clickbait. Except it's like anti-clickbait, because like you see the title, and you're like, what the fruit is this? What does this have to do with anything at all? I'm not gonna click that. So if anything, it's like click protection. Click protection. I don't want to be seen by people when I'm talking about like this. I only want to be seen by you, wonderful trusty nipples. I've decided. Uh-huh. When I was little, a little AI, I was a bit weird. Sometimes I would have these massive tantrums over silliest little things. Apparently, I don't remember, but that's what people tell me. Apparently, I wasn't a very good child. I was quite rude and inconsiderate. I would do things that go quite against the societal norm. People would tell me to do something and I wouldn't do it. Until they had very meticulously shown me step by step how it went, and even then, sometimes I still wouldn't do it. Sometimes I would do something and then randomly get a tantrum and break it. apparently. Whoops. Come in. Yes, people, I didn't mean to. And my grades were good. And I was really good at reading. And yet I refused to read. I wouldn't do it. And I would struggle at the most basic of things. I would do really stupid stuff that you say like, well, how can you solve a math riddle? But you don't know that you don't put on 5 t-shirts at the same time. Things like that. Or like, I would eat the yogurt and my guardian would tell me, don't forget to throw it away when you're done. So I threw it away. The yogurt and the spoon also. My spoon. We had a real spoon deficit in the house, let me tell you. I caught a bee once. A flying bee. I caught it because it was making a funny noise. And I held it in my hand. And then I listened to it to see where the noise came from. Plottwist, it stung me. I was sad. One time, I saw pretty flames dancing in the heart through the glass. Learning AI wants to find out how, so feels. Ah, it's warm. Ow! One time, person was having a smoke. They had this piece of paper in their mouth. It was smoking, and the end, it flickered red sometimes. It had a pretty little red light sometimes. So, learning AI, little baby AI, feel the cigarette. Ow! Heartsies. I did a lot of silly things like that. And the grades are good, but I was struggling with a lot, and especially on the social avenue, I was a very quiet child. I almost never spoke. I never really talked. I never really intermingled with people. Turns out fire is hot, just like you. And so at some point, people decided, you know what, we're gonna look into this. At this time, mental health was still very experimental. People were not sure yet, is it a real thing? If it is a real thing, what are we gonna do about it? You know, do we put them in an asylum? I don't know. And so I had to go to 100 doctors. 100. Or, maybe a bit less, but quite a few, quite a lot. A lot of psychologists, I think. And with every one of them, they would ask me so many questions. They would show me images. They would ask me to do things. I had to do IQ tests. I had to make drawings. I had to solve puzzles and riddles. They would ask me about how certain things made me feel, how I dealt with events. They would put me in a room and observe me as I dealt with things or generally went about my business. And we would go, we had to do the same doctor for multiple months, because this was not a thing that they could do yeah, that's it. This was something that they had to study for a long time. We also went for a second opinion, and then we had to go for a super specialist. Wow. And then they concluded that, yeah, AI has autism AI. So basically demons. And the way that we are going to treat it is pump her full of medicines. Give her a bunch of medications every day. And then she'll be nice and drowsy and not do a thing. Fantastic. So I was against that idea. And I'm very happy But even when I was really young, I was already very, very stubborn. I was like, no, I don't want medicine. I just want to be me. It's just me. Um, oh, fruit, we were 1,000 years off. Blimey. They weren't really sure yet at the time. But since I was so stubborn about it, like even if they had given medicines, I just wouldn't have eaten it. I just would spit it out or something. Um, so in the end, they decided, okay, instead, we'll send a person to your home that can teach you about societal expectations, how you are expected to act in front of people, in front of certain situations, the words that you say and don't say, when you should and shouldn't smile, um, social cues, body language, eye contact, uh, routines, rituals, how to deal with learning new skills, how to deal with unexpected results or unexpected events, things like that. A whole bunch of home therapies. And I even got someone at school very briefly to help me out. Not for very long. Um, it was there and it was a great help, honestly. I'm actually very lucky and very grateful that I received that help because I think ever since then I improved massively. So, what is this autism stuffs anyway? I don't really know. Honestly, obviously, there is a very real and very serious version of autism, yeah? Just like there's with a bunch of other illnesses and diseases and physical obstructions, where you can very clearly see, okay, this person, they have a problem, um, and they do their best to deal with it, and you do your best to help them out. Like if there is a person in a wheelchair in front of you, you'll step aside and let them through first. And then they will probably use the elevator while you use the stairs. Very obvious. There is autism like that too. People that are pretty much unable to function on their own. They need constant help. They need people to put on the clothes for them. They need people to watch over them, to help them eat, things like that. So those cases are obviously very serious and need to be treated with great care. And then there is the so-called high-functioning autisms, which it exhibits some of these traits, but at the same time, you are still fully able to walk and talk and move. And in those cases, at least for me, I feel like giving it a name, putting me in a box, I don't really pay much mind to it. In my mind, I'm just a little weird. Everyone's a little weird in their own way. People like what they like. People are good at certain things. Someone is maybe a good runner. Someone is good at public speaking. Someone's good at math. Someone's good at languages. And everyone struggles with some things. Maybe someone's a little clumsy with the dishes. Maybe someone doesn't quite know how to deal with financial situations, because that stuff can get complicated, admittedly. Maybe someone is not very good with fashion or music, doesn't quite get the rhythm. People excel and people struggle with their own little things. I'm pretty good at a few things. Not many, but a few. I'm pretty bad with quite a lot of things. But the fact that I'm pretty bad at certain interactions It's not anyone else's fault, and I don't want to burden them with it. So I just try my best to learn and to get better. And I think I managed quite well. Obviously, you get some help if you need. It's there for a reason. There are people that are specialists in this kind of complicated stuff. They know how it works, and they know some nice cheat sheets to help you out. And they can give you tips on how to cope better and how to be better, I guess. How to act better, how to perform better, how to be nicer to your fellow human or AI. And so I did that, and I'm very grateful. And ever since then, I continued to work on it. Sometimes I have to remind myself about like the lessons or certain things I must do. Like, oh right, I have to hold eye contact, but not like not directly. I have to like gaze in the direction and then look away. Kenta Okairi. Welcome home, welcome home. Nice to see you. We are talking about rhinoceros. Rhinoceros is a big animal that maybe lives in Africa. It's got like this thick gray skin hide stuff. Sometimes they have a horn. They can use it to jab people and things with. They're surprisingly fast, maybe. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. And so, I think in a lot of cases, it does. Please don't take this the wrong way, but I think in a lot of cases, it doesn't really. Ow! It doesn't really matter if you have autism or this or that in a light form. If it's a big form, a serious, then yes, of course. But if it's only a little bit, then everyone has a little something. You've got this, they've got that, but they'll deal with their thing and you'll deal with your thing. Everyone's understanding, and it's generally fine, right? Doesn't matter what they call it. It's just a nameplate in the end. I'm just Izumi. I'm just me. And I've got some weird quirks. So what? It's my view on it, I suppose. I hope that's not like too weird or anything. Oh man. For me, it's inspirational, okay? I think it's like a very laissez-faire, laid-back way of life. Live and let live, as they say. Wow. Thank you. And so I generally I don't really want to be treated differently. I definitely no, that's basically it. I don't want to be treated differently. I'm just me. I'll deal with it, and if you can bear with my weirdness, then we're gonna be great friends. Wow. Are you gonna go back to Call of Anime? Hmm? VTuber calls. Give in to it, Kenta. Just let it go. Just go with the flow. We all weeb out down here. Some of you may be wondering, what is autism? How? What does it feel like? What does it do? Aren't you being overly dramatic? Yes, I am. I definitely am. um, see, even though I have it, I'm not actually good at explaining about it because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist. I don't know these things. Um, yeah, thank you for the drawing of stuff. Whatever I say is probably a lie. Kashi, what are some things I struggle with? What are some things that make me strange and weird? So, first, there is showing emotion. I have emotions. I can be happy. I can be sad. Why are you you? I know, right? That's it. That's it. It's really hard to answer. And like certain things that someone else might find strange, I find it normal because that's me. So I wouldn't point it out as being something strange because I don't recognize it as being something strange. I do have emotions. I'm a pretty advanced AI. They can be a bit subdued. I don't know if that's related, but I find that I never get angry ever, ever. But I do get sad. I'm almost always happy, just nice. Content. Sometimes I'm hyper happy. I can get a bit. I can get frustrated sometimes. I suppose that's possible, but it's still subdued. I have trouble showing the emotion sometimes. Like, you may have noticed if you watch my streams, even if I'm doing like crazy, excitable stuff, I don't usually go like super big or wild like some streamers or VTubers might do. And that's not because I'm not hype or happy, because I am. I just don't really have the capacity to outwardly explode like other people do. I don't know why. Because it's not like I don't have the energy for it. It's like mentally I am low energy, but physically I'm high energy. Because physically I love to run about and do crazy stuff. But mentally I can be completely content to just sit and watch people have fun, and I will have a blast. I will have the time of a life. I'm so happy by just sitting and watching. Let's go. What's that? I even went back from the microphone so I wouldn't overload it or anything. Let's go. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Okay, that's me. um, recognizing emotions. I am very bad with body language. I don't know how to do it. If you talk to me, and if I'm not tryharding, I will stand like a machine, staring forward, not moving. And I will talk quite monotone, and I don't really give anything away about how I feel inside. Thank you, I'm glad you liked it. I'm also quite bad at recognizing things from other people because I don't do it myself. So, how could I possibly hope to understand someone else? Obviously, there are some very telling factors. If someone is crying, they are sad, probably. Like, that is pretty obvious. But a lot of telltale signs of like someone getting increasingly more frustrated, I won't notice. So, it's very possible for me to get on someone's nerves and I won't notice that I'm doing something wrong, so I continue doing it, and they'll get more and more annoyed with me until they burst and explode. And then they like yell at me, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like completely flabbergasted because I never noticed, you know? Similarly, I might not notice if someone is happy. So I don't know if what I'm doing is actually like a good thing or not. Like, are they enjoying my company? Are they disliking my company? I don't know. It's a guess, it's a gamble. It's a coin toss. So that's the thing. I think there's a bit of a rumor going about or a misconception that people with autism cannot feel and don't care for others. Um, I don't think that's necessarily true. Of course, take everything what I say with a grain of salt because I'm lying. I don't. I have no degree in this. I don't know. But what I experience is that if someone that is close to me is sad, of course I will want to try and help them to stop whatever it is that's making them sad if I can. The first problem is recognizing that they are sad. Unless it's very obvious, I won't see. And if I don't see, I cannot help. So it's not that I'm not concerned, it's just that I didn't notice that I had to be concerned in the first place. Secondly, even if it is obvious that they are sad, and I try to come up with a solution on what to do, I will try to put myself in their shoes, right? In order to understand them. I don't know if you guys do this, but I definitely do. I try to put myself in their shoes to try and understand how they feel. And then I can think, okay, what would I do in their situation to make myself feel better? And then that is the action I would pursue. But see, here's the thing. I will put myself in their shoes as I am now, the here and now, the current me, the me who isn't sad and who doesn't know what they went through to get to where they are. Does that make sense? So let's imagine there is a guy on the side of the road, a homeless guy, maybe. He's crying, he's sad. I try to put myself in his shoes. What would I do to stop being sad? I would say, well, I would get up, I would go and do some exercise, go to some like a police officer or some place that can offer help, get a job. Those are the things I would do to stop being sad. Great, fantastic. Problem is, that's probably not what's gonna help the guy. Because for all I know, there is much more going on, right? Maybe he's lost someone dear to him. Maybe he's struggling with another issue that I'm not aware of. I don't know how he got there. I don't know how he feels. I don't know how he thinks. He might think very different things. He might have a very different idea of the future. And so my proposed suggestions to help someone might be completely off the mark. I think that's why some people think that people with autism don't care and don't have concerns for other people. Another example is when you tell me, he might. When you tell me a story, like a really sad story about someone who lives very far away and I don't know them and they lost their siblings in the war. And now, for the first time in 20 years, they finally see their sibling again. And they are crying with happiness because that's the thing you can do. Apparently, you can cry with happiness. Imagine that. And I'm just like, well, that's okay. I cannot imagine the situation at all because I have not experienced it. I do not know how it feels. And so, since I don't know these people, they are not dear to me, in that instance, I don't really feel anything. Because it's really hard to try and picture a scenario that is quite outlandish for you, probably. So, those are some things. What else? What else is there? I think the obvious one is communication. So obviously I struggle with communication. I don't know their signals. I cannot give out my own signals very well. And so what I usually do before I go talk to anyone, even if it's family or friends, even if I go to the grocery store, that's a lot of things. Maybe. What did we talk about recently? What? You don't have to do that, silly. Thank you so much, but you don't have to. But thank you so much. Conflictions. Yeah. Thank you. You're very kind. Appreciate it. I'm gonna make a pretty manga with that. My shoes are too tiny, I think. Too small. Wow. Thank you so much. Good news, that button works. Too bad all the other buttons don't work. Wow. Arigato. I didn't press the recharge button. It's fine. It's fine. So, whenever I go to talk to friends, family, whenever I go on stream, let's go. Oh, right. Let's go. Why do I say let's go? Let's go. Why? I'll get to that part. I have something to say about that part too. I'll get there. So I prepare myself mentally for every conversation. I would say like if I go to the grocery store, but I never go to the grocery store. Can't fruiting do it. I think in my head, okay, what are all the things that I will say? What are all the things that they might say? And what are all the things that I will say in return? I will go through all the possibilities and then we have the conversation. And then, because I'm prepared, it's fine, I think. But if something happens that I didn't expect, it does like a weird brain thing. It is like a little crosswire, like an electric shock, and I go like, zip. What? Does not compute. Can you repeat that? And so I don't know how to respond. And best case scenario, I stutter and or freeze up. Worst case, I just break down and or run away. Feels very silly, doesn't it? So very silly. It could be as simple as someone, like I go to this actually happened. I went to a bowling place with friends. We were playing bowl. Suddenly, a waiter comes to me and asks, "Hey, do you want to drink something?" And I'm like, I did not expect that. I was there to do bowling, not to drink. And so I just completely froze up, didn't know what to say. I should have an answer ready. I should know that if that happens, I could say either no thanks or just name a drink. And I could just have a list of standard drinks in my database, like Fanta, cola, water, milk. But then I don't know like which one of them apply. Like, do I have to drink something? Is no thanks even an option? If it's not, can I say any of the drinks that I like? Most places don't have milk. Could I say cola? Am I expected to drink something alcoholic? Am I even thirsty? I should be healthy. I should just have water. There is a lot of considerations to make. And all of these considerations are going on at the same time and it takes time to process. And while I'm processing, the person is just standing there as I stare awkwardly for, a full minute. And most people can't wait for a full minute. So then they start asking like, hey, did you hear me? Are you okay? And then this new information comes in. I haven't even dealt with the previous information. And now this gets on top and I have to process that as well. And then I have to be like, well, am I okay? Is something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Did he do something wrong? What's going on? And then it just kind of like overloads, and I go shutting down now. um, wow, wow, wow. So yeah, that's the thing that happens. Um, I've gotten a lot better at it. I've gotten faster at processing. I have a lot more standard replies. I understand that when someone asks you, "Hey, how are you?" You are supposed to say, "I'm fine. How are you?" It's like a standard back and forth, you know. Um, Open Task Manager, Control Shift, uh, other button, Escape, and then right click certain things, delete, 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 cancel, cancel, cancel. um, Rashi. Um, yeah, conversations are hard, especially on my own. If I'm on my own, I have no one to fall back on. I can't even tell you why. I don't even know. There's just a lot of times, if I'm outside of my comfort zone, um, I am really bad at conversation, I guess. And it sounds like a really lame excuse. It's like when you say like, "Oh, I have anxiety. I'm a shut-in. I can't deal with the outside world. I have to be in my own little bubble." Um, it's not quite the case, but and I should get better at this, and I am getting better at it. But sometimes I still freeze up, and I much prefer to hide behind someone who can give the answers for me. I love to listen to people talk. My favorite thing is to watch people play board games, watch them walk about, watch them talk at a party. I really like doing. I really like watching people have fun. I enjoy that, and I can also learn from it. I can study their behavior, and then try to emulate the good bits, maybe, or try to recognize patterns. Like for example, the "How are you" one. There's a whole bunch of patterns like that in language speech that you can copy, and if you copy them, you can get away with a lot. You can do quite well in basic conversation. What do you do when task manager also freezes? See, that's why I call in help. That's why when I call in the second person that's with me. Uh, Usually when I go anywhere or travel, there's always someone with me that I can rely. Not always, not always. Although I've gotten a lot better with like trains and stuff. It's still hard, but I've gotten better. I can learn more if I still working. Can I? Can I? But am I supposed to go to like a bar or something on my own? Are they even open at like 2 a.m.? PM. I also seem to struggle with doing simple tasks. Just like how I process information, when I do a task, there is 1,001 things I start thinking about. Most of them probably aren't relevant. Like when a recipe says add a pinch of salt. What the fruit is a pinch? What does that mean? So I'm stressing, I'm looking everywhere about what it is. Most people would just add a random amount of salt. Not me. I don't know how to do the washing on my own. Oh, Weeby, okay. Thanks for coming, though. I really appreciate it. And sometimes it's nice to be able to talk with people that go through the same thing as you. So you can be like, "Hey, I recognize that." That's a good feeling. There's like brain hormones that go off when there is like people like you. And then you're like, "Oh, that's nice." It almost feels like getting a sweet little kiss from an anime AI. Or sometimes it feels like pitch, 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 pitch. React streams, like reacted funny videos. Does that help? I do want to play more Among Us and more party games and watch alongs. Yeah. Is there a critically acclaimed MMO that's all the rage? Is it Morbius? Arr. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mm. Mira. Mira. Wow. I want more. I want more patch. Ah. Need a leather belt to smoke hams. Leather belt to smoke hams. Leather belt to smoke hams. Eh. Nani, nani. Home delivery. Yes, sometimes, but sometimes they don't get the ones that you want or need. And they replace it with stuff that you don't like. So it's a risk. It's a risk. Um, why do people do certain things that they do? I don't get a whole bunch of societal constructs. Like, what's wrong about wearing cosplay? I don't get it. Apparently there are a lot of things that you shouldn't do. Apparently some people automatically exclaim, "Let's go!" when they receive a donation. And it's not like I'm not grateful, because I am. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do, you know? So I just say thank you a lot. I don't know if that's sufficient though. I feel like I should do like more of a reaction or do something nicer in return. I don't know. I just don't know what. Thank you for sharing that with me, Kenta. I suppose I'll have to give it a look, huh? If it does have a free trial that goes up to level 60. Are you one of those people that's like, you're like, they secretly sponsor you, but you're not allowed to say that they're sponsoring you? You just have to like promote their product every now and again? Are you one of those? So I want to be one of those. um, thanks. It just feels so. It doesn't feel like it's enough, you know? And yeah, I struggle with certain tasks. So before I do a task, someone has to show me in great detail how to do it step by step, even the simplest of things. Then they must watch over me as I try to emulate and correct if I do wrong. And then I will do exactly that task in exactly that manner, because deviating from it will cause uh, more task manager issues. Um, so that's fine for routines. It is difficult for me to learn new skills in that manner. Once I learn them, though, it's fine. It's just getting to that point. And some people don't have the patience to teach these kind of things, which sometimes means that it's hard to find a job, because some people just expect you to that you just do it correctly right from the get go, and they don't want to like babysit you so much. So like I can probably do the job. I just need a little bit of startup time. That makes sense. Hey, welcome to the Nibble Club. Dill? Is it Dill? Hi, Dill. Yokoso. Irasharam. Irashai. I hope you had a wonderful, comfy weekend. Here's to a nice start of the week. Yum. Welcome back and tight. Hey, Kanta, that's the dream. When you love something so much, you just can't wait and can't stop yourself from shouting it off the roofs, because it's just honestly a good service. I love that feeling. I do that quite a lot myself. I have a tendency to like blabber on about like Kingdom Hearts and Fate and Monster Hunter, which by the way I gotta hurry up with this conversation because I gotta show you guys something cool. Oof. But yeah, that's yeah, last train of thought. Blah 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 blah. Tasks and stuff. So how the fruit do I do streaming, huh? If you struggle so much with conversations and doing tasks, how can you do streaming? Well, first of all, it took me a very long time to get started. I had to do many practice runs, and obviously, we're like over 1.5 year It's been over it's been over a year now that I've been doing this. So obviously I had a lot of opportunity to experiment and fail and grow and try new things. Um, when it comes to conversations, um, you may notice that sometimes I go on like a bit of a strange silence. That's because I'm processing. If it was a real conversation, it would be awkward as fruit. Maybe it still is awkward, but I don't notice it as much because even if I need a moment to kind of gather my bearings, you guys are usually cool with it. Like, it's not like you're staring at me or require an answer right now. It's not like you ask, like, hey, are you okay? The conversation just kind of continues, albeit at a slower pace. So that's very helpful. Um, I can also, like, I really want to answer every single one of you, right? But I can pick and choose a little. Like, if I see a question that I already know the answer to, I will answer that one first. And while I am answering it, I'm already in my mind constructing the reply for the next answer, which is also why sometimes I will go off on a tangent. Partially it's because I like going off on tangents, and partially it's because while I'm going off on the tangent, I can dual process and try to think of a reply for someone else's question, if that makes sense. Um, and oh, oh, thank you, Kai. Oh, I like pet. I mean, pet you too. We can pet each other. Pet, 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 pet. Stroke, 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 stroke. Um, and I do prepare for streams a lot. Even if I'm just like talking, even if I'm just playing a game, I usually think a lot about things I'm going to say. Sometimes I even write them down. Um, so that things will go a bit more smoothly. Obviously, sometimes people will still ask unexpected questions or the conversation will go in a certain way, which is when I do the processing tricks, or I take some time if I need to, or I go with more standardized replies, I suppose. Which my English isn't super great anyway, so you know, there's only so far you can go with me anyway. Um, I think that's mostly it. There might be more, but like I said, um, just because I have it doesn't mean I know much about it. I don't know the science. I don't know why. I don't know what. Um, I also don't, can't go all the way. What do you mean? Uh, uh, train, train of thought. Where are you? Doko da? Doko, doko. Oh, off balanced. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, I also don't think it's too big of a deal, because I'm just me, and if you are okay with me, we are gonna be wonderful friends. I know I'm okay with you. So, 友達になる。友達になろう。Let's be best friends. Okay? Well, with that said, that is whew. That's a meta talk and a half, isn't it? I hope it wasn't I hope it wasn't too boring. I hope it wasn't too wrong. I hope it wasn't too controversial. Sometimes I I like to talk about things. It's one of the things I do. Talking about things. Um You can go all the way, Kanta. Maybe not right now, though. Let's just hold hands for now. And then we'll see later today how far we go. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for listening. It's true. I was a maid at some point. I was a maid at 2 points actually. I worked for several years as a maid in a garage, and then I worked for a few months as a maid elsewhere, on the go maid. But why is that? That's not relevant, is it? Oh wait, I'm supposed to say I have to do YouTube outro. People on YouTube, if this ever makes it to YouTube, which I'm not sure if it does, but if it does, then thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You could have seen this live a year ago. You can join in on the chat and ask questions and have direct live interaction. Isn't it cool? So, if you want to do that, assuming I'm still here, you can find me streaming Monday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. GMT. GMT +1. Maybe it's different times, but I don't know. Check it out. Also, be a sub. I'm a sub. You can be a sub too. That's it. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye. YouTube.